Hola amigos, this is Jerry Fleming and I'm with Ser de Vino. So this is wine number 25. We're a quarter of the way through our whole entire goal of 100 wines. So for this one, I'm going to rate a couple of them that I did before as well. Just a little refresher, like kind of give you my favorite white and my favorite red at the end of this. So I don't know if this one might be my new favorite white. We haven't explored the whites too much, but I definitely have a good couple in mind for the red ones. So with that being said, I'd like to say thank you for following me if you are following me or watching, because you are obviously watching me right now. And please follow, subscribe, tell your friends. It's at Ser de Vino. We have a YouTube page, Facebook, and Instagram. Currently working on a couple other avenues of media, but those are the ones that I'm mainly managing right now, and it's been a hell of fun. So with that being said, let's give this one a taste. So this is number 25, like I said, by Gregory Perez Vineyards. Boom. Brezo. Made with Godello grapes, and it has a year of 2017. So I actually got this as a recommendation from one of the wine specialty stores I went to. This guy named Adi Adelanto. He totally was super helpful in getting me like the bottles of wine I needed. I told him I wanted to try some Godello grapes, and he's like, we talked for maybe an hour about like the different styles, and he wanted to know what I liked, and I was more interested in what he liked, because I'm trying to get all the recommendations I can and have like all the choices for you guys, so you know truly what the good local wines when you come to Spain, so you don't have to spend an arm and a leg. Because in that specialty store, I saw a couple bottles that were outrageously priced, and there's no way I'm going to be able to afford to even have a glass of that. So this one is a little more on the pricier side for me. It cost me about 10 euros. So I mean, that's still nothing. So it is one of the better wines hopefully I'm going to have. He helped me pick it out especially, and you may notice that I'm wearing all white actually too. I'm going to the Running of the Bulls actually, not to run with them, but to enjoy the wine, the culture, and just drink as much wine as I can and watch the bullfights. So that sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. I went last year already, and then I had a crazy good time. So I'm going with a new set of friends this year, and we're literally looking forward to it. They're actually having me the designated wine expert, which is a little bit intimidating, because if I pick wrong, then they're stuck with a bottle of vinegar. So here we go. Brezo by Gregory Perez. You may notice I'm not using the Venturi for this one. It's because whites typically don't have all those tannins and anything really dark to, that you need to aerate or anything like that. I could have aerated, but I've had this bottle open for just a few moments now, so I don't really need to let it aerate. I like the sweetness of the white anyways. Like, it gets brought out a lot more when it's just all locked up in there. So all we always gotta do, you gotta look at the whole entire thing before we even taste it. We got our whole process. So, yep, a white typically is just sugary. I see just not even legs. They're like literally, like, it looks like a map of the world almost on there on the side. They literally just sticks on there. It's like film. Just big globs of sweet sugar. Alrighty. And the coloration, obviously, just a typical white. Looks a little bit more gold than usual. I guess these are my first Godello grapes I'm aware of trying. It smells absolutely delicious. It smells very similar to a champagne or a brut, yeah, very sweet. It looks like it's actually semi-sparkling, like some of it, like very, very light, like light carbonation inside of this. Oh, I'm picking up definitely. I always get apples when I taste white wine, like an apple, like a good red apple. So definitely can see this going with a very mild cheese, probably. I don't know, like obviously, I always say brie. I could have Monterey Jack with that as well. Maybe a mild white cheddar would go good with this one. I could definitely picture it with a like a fish, nothing like a heavy like a swordfish or anything like that, like or like a was it squid or octopus, nothing like that. I'm talking about like a light tuna or maybe a salmon. That'd be perfect pairing with this, I think. A nice salmon. So I haven't even tasted it yet, and I'm giving you my flavor profile for that. Let's give it a taste and see what it's about. Oh my goodness, yeah. That thing is appley. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I definitely, it's like a sour green apple just kicked me right in the freaking nuts. Oh, that's really good though. I imagine it gets a lot better as I drink it, like any white wine. Here's a little secret about me that some people know. A lot of my mom and dad's friends actually are big. They like to tell stories about this. First time I ever drank wine was when I was 2 years old. It was white wine. It was actually the preferred one for me. The red one was a little too acidic and not as sweet. I really like the sugar in this one. So I was at a dinner party, and my parents literally had all their wine, and they're big into wine, so they had all their friends over to try and wine tastings. And I remember just thinking it was, grape juice. It actually tasted more like apple juice to me, and I literally just was walking around the party, and then just if they had a little bit left in the cup, I literally just pick it up and go like that. Like everyone let me. It was my own house, so that's why my parents were kind of like, "Oh yeah, Jerry's just walking around," and all of a sudden, like I was acting like a drunkard, and they're like, "What the hell's going on?" And one of them caught me. One of the parents caught me, and they're like, "Oh my God, like what's wrong with him?" And they had to get me in a tub, and apparently I was having the time of my life, thinking I was in an airplane. I don't remember any of that. It was 2 years old, obviously, but my parents love to tell that story whenever they have a wine gathering. I always tell it with me now. And now it's a little antidote for you guys. So, yep, I definitely have been a wine lover since day one, or at least since the second year. Yeah, the appley flavor is actually pretty sugary. So I don't know, tastes young a little bit too. Like really young grapes were used in this. The Godello grapes. I'm not sure the entire process in which they go through it and everything, but definitely tastes like a very young grape. I'm picking up. It might just be the sugar in this, but it's like a caramely flavor, a delicious like caramely apple. Caramel apple sounds really good with this actually, except this is super sugary already, so that just might be overload. But I can totally see it just being comparable to a apple. You know what else we go with this? Some almonds, some roasted unsalted almonds. Unsalted being the very key word there, or some unsalted walnuts. This thing does not need salt to really go with this. I definitely can't picture it with like a salty, savory, or fatty dish. So that's why the fish, like a light fish. I don't know, salmon, tuna, and trying to think of another one. Very light, like maybe a bass. Like very easily cooked, maybe over like a open flame. So I think that covers it for this wine right here. I'd like to say thank you to Adelanto and for suggesting this great bottle of white. Much appreciated. And the Vinoteca, which is the store I went to in Santander, España. It's in the Cantabria region. They're famous for their Rioja grapes typically, and I was trying to get something more local, but unfortunately, I'm falling behind on my tastings a little bit, so I'm trying to catch up, and the Godello was one of those that they definitely suggested I have to go try. Thank you for following me. Please subscribe, follow, give me feedback on how I'm doing. Let me know if you want me to try something ridiculously cheap or some mid-range thing that you want me to try. I am all for it. Very open to feedback. I always say this. Follow us at Ser de Vino. We really appreciate your follow and we appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much, and as always, salud.